and welcome back everyone to Actual English. I'm Jennifer Clyde. Today it is time for lesson 9 and we'll be talking about this topic. Today's topic is dating in your 20s, 30s, and then marriage. So first of all, let me begin by asking you, are you married? Are you single? Are you dating someone? If you are dating someone, are you planning a marriage very soon? Or perhaps if you're younger and not yet thinking about marriage, yeah, you can talk about that as well. Now, I think dating is quite different. Dating in your teens is different from dating in your 20s and 30s, and even dating in your 40s can be very different. I think in terms of looking for special things in the other significant person, right? So, say for example, in your teens, what do you look for in a person? You may look for someone that is good looking, right? Someone that is pretty if it is a girl. Definitely somebody with a good personality. As we get older in our 20s, you may look for more things, even more in our 30s, and even more or less as you get older. Anyhow, that is our topic for the day. So we'll be talking about getting married or even just dating. There are different kinds of dating methods as well. So let's begin. Here is our first segment of our program. It is Actual Talk.
So Rachel, I hear you're getting married soon.
I am.
Amazing. Did you always plan to get married? I guess it's relatively early.
No, I never thought I was going to get married at this age. Mm-hmm. But I was also never the type to plan out my life, this time frame of when I'm going to meet my future husband and when we're going to get married, when I'm going to have kids. I just let nature take its course, and it worked out the way it did.
That's the best way, because, you might not have a husband to cooperate with that schedule.
Exactly.
So I think it's best just to see how it goes, right?
Did you have a time frame? Did you know you were going to get married at this age, have kids at this age?
If I'm honest, then yes, I was a little girl when I was younger because I kind of planned what age I'd get married, what age I'd have a kid. I was 28 getting married, 29 to have a kid, and so before 30 I'd have a family. And it actually worked out that way.
Congratulations!
But as I got older, I forgot about that and I just kind of dated my fair share of girls, I guess. Not too many, but but dating was really hit and miss.
Okay.
There's some good experiences, some terrible experiences.
Right.
Once you're married, it's kind of like a safe haven.
That's true. For me, even though I was kind of carefree about dating, not in the sense that I dated so many men, but,
everyone,
but carefree in the sense that I wasn't so serious about it, right? I have to marry or date this guy and marry this guy. I was more again, nature take its course, let that happen. But I did think seriously about dating in the sense that I wasn't just going to date anybody.
No.
If I was going to date someone, it would have to be with the thought of, do I have a future with this person?
Oh.
So that's the way I looked upon dating. So I didn't really date a lot of people because I guess I thought seriously about it before I jumped into this relationship.
You just dated the special ones and
Right.
It's worked out well. And I'm sure as a marriage senior, you're going to love it.
I look forward to it.
So everyone, how did you enjoy today's actual talk between Rachel and Peter? They told us, as always, a little bit about their own personal stories. They talked about dating and marriage as well. Obviously, as we all know, Peter is married. He's got one lovely baby son. And he talked about as a younger gentleman, as a younger guy, before he got married, he kind of had things planned out. So he had an idea of when he would get married, when he would have children, and so on. And what about Rachel? She also briefly talked about dating and also how she's planning a wedding. Now, she seems to be a very, very happy person. She looks very excited to get married, right? Anyhow, now when it comes to dating, there are many, many different methods to dating, as I did mention briefly earlier on. You can go on blind dates. You can have somebody set you up with someone, or even go to very casual social gatherings and meet new people. And the person you meet there could perhaps become your boyfriend or girlfriend and your future husband or wife. Anyhow, I like to let things happen very naturally. I have not yet been on a blind date. Okay, enough about me. Let's get straight to today's actual talk and take a look at what Rachel and Peter talked about. So, of course, in the beginning, Peter began by asking Rachel, so Rachel, I hear you're getting married soon. So, one thing that may look kind of strange to you is the I hear part. You may be used to, Rachel, I heard that you're getting married, right? But this is not a spelling mistake. This is correct. That is exactly what Peter said. He said, so Rachel, I hear you're getting married soon. Now, there is a slight difference between I heard and I hear. For example, if you're talking about something you heard from other people already in the future, in the past, for example, you can say, I heard that, or I heard. But if you say, I hear so-and-so, it means that people are talking about it at the present, recently. Everybody is talking about it. So to maybe simplify it, to make it easier for you to understand, in Korean, I heard is closer to 들었다. And I hear is closer to 들린다. 이런 소식이 들려온다. Okay? So it's what you hear right now, these days. So, I hear you're getting married soon. And Rachel says, I am. Now, Peter says, amazing. Did you always plan to get married? Now, always meaning, have you been planning to get married for a long time? Okay? Let's check out what she said. She said, no. I did not exactly plan to get married. I never thought I was going to get married at this age. This age, of course, she's talking about, say, for example, as if Rachel is 28, she's saying, I never thought I would get married or I was going to get married at 28. Anyhow, but she says, but also, I was also never the type to plan out my life. There are different types of people, right? The type to plan out one's life. I am not the type to plan out my life. As I mentioned, I like to let things happen naturally. I like to go with the flow. 물이 흐르듯, right? Just let things happen naturally with a natural flow. So she says, I was never the type to plan things out. She is not a planner. She says, when I'm going to meet my future husband and when we're going to get married or I'm going to have kids. So she's talking about three things. She has never thought about when she's going to get married. Okay. Now, also, when she's going to meet her future husband, when they're going to get married, and, yes, whether they are going to have kids or not. She says, I just let nature take its course. What could that mean? Let nature take its course. Basically, simply put, easily put, it means to let things happen naturally. Let it be, right? So she says, I just let nature take its course, and it worked out the way it did. To work out could mean several different things. In this case, it means to result, okay? Bring about result. If you say something worked out, you can say that it worked out effectively as well. Let's move on. Now, future, now, and then. I picked these out because Rachel mentioned something about meeting her future husband. So let's take a look at how you can make use of this. Future, now, present, and also then, past. I hope to meet my future husband within 2 years. Now, if you have not met anyone now and you plan to, you want to meet someone in the next 2 years, you can say, I want to meet my future husband. My future husband within or in 2 years. What about now? If you are married right now, and if you want to talk about your now husband or now wife, you can say, I met my now husband 5 years ago. Okay? I met my now husband 5 years ago. What about in the past? You can say, my then wife, okay? My then wife was 2 years older than me. So, of course, people get married, there are happy marriages, but the opposite as well. some marriages don't really work out. So some couples separate, they get divorced. So if you want to talk about perhaps your wife that you are divorced right now too, you can say my then wife, my then husband. It simply means you are divorced. So you don't have to explain. My then wife, my then husband was 5 years older than me, 2 years younger than me. My then wife was lovely. She was a wonderful person, and so on. Now, taking you back to actual talk. Now, Peter says, I think it's best to just see how it goes. Remember, Rachel said, I like to let nature take its course, meaning I like to let things happen naturally. So, this is just his opinion. Peter says, I think it's best to see how things go or how it goes. Now, Rachel asks a question about a certain time frame. She asks, did you have a time frame? What is a time frame? Imagine time that is in a picture frame. It's a set time, a time during which something took place or will take place. So she's asking, did you know you were going to get married at this age and have kids at this age? So she's asking, since you said that you planned things out, did you know that you were going to get married at 30 and have children at 32? Did you have things planned out? Okay, so she's asking about a certain set time, a time frame. And Peter says, if I'm honest, then yes. And then he explains. He says, I kind of planned what age I'd get married and what age I'd have a kid. So he sure was a planner. And he said it was. He's talking about his plan. It was 28, getting married. 29, to have a kid. And so before 30, I would have a family. This is very interesting. I don't know many men around me that actually plan their life out, especially their marriage life. But Peter, he's saying, yes, I had a time frame. I planned things out. And I imagined, I planned that I would get married at a certain age and have a kid. It was 28. I planned I would get married at 28. I planned I would have a child at 29. And so before 30, I planned I would have a family, a wife, and perhaps children. And he says, and it actually worked out that way. We've got work out one more time. It actually resulted that way. Okay, so he's talking about an outcome. Now, Rachel says, congratulations. And Peter says, but as I got older, as I aged, as I got older and older, I forgot about that and I just kind of dated. So he's talking about how he forgot about his plan and he dated. He talks about how he dated. I met a fair share of girls, but not too many. Okay, not too many. But dating was really hit and miss. As we see, we've got stars on these two expressions, fair share of something and also hit and miss. Let's take a look at it first. Now, I met a fair share of girls. A fair share of something basically means many, several, okay? So he's saying, I met many girls. I dated several girls, but not too many, okay? And he says, but dating was really hit and miss. We'll take a look at that in a bit as well. So dating was really hit and miss. It was just natural. If it happened, it happened. If it didn't, it didn't, okay? So he says there were some good experiences, some terrible experiences. And he says, once you're married, it's kind of like a safe haven. A safe haven. That word, don't get it mixed up with the word heaven. It's not H-E-A-V-E-N. It's H-A-V-E-N. And it's pronounced haven, not haven. Safe haven is kind of like a shelter. Some place that you are very safe, a place you feel very comfortable. So he's saying once you're married, once you get married, everything is like a safe haven. It means he feels very secure and he feels comfortable having been married, okay? Now here, let's take a look at fair share once again. Fair share means several. In some cases, it could mean many, but not too many. Here are some sample sentences. I had a fair share of enemies at my workplace. Okay, I had a fair share of something. So what does it mean in this case? At my workplace. At my company, I had many enemies. A lot of people did not like me. Okay, now try using a fair share of in this sentence. We got a fair share of rain this summer. That is true. We got lots of rain, right? So in this case, you can say, we got a fair share of rain this summer. Last summer, it means we had lots of rain. Okay. Another one, hit and miss. Hit or miss also. Hit and miss or hit or miss. Let's first of all take a look at a sample sentence. They gave away free tickets. Hit and miss. My friend got 5 and I only got 1. So what does hit and miss mean? Okay, hit and miss, as I told you. You date someone, you break up with that person, and then if someone appears again, you date someone. Hit and miss basically means aimlessly, without planning. Sometimes it could mean carelessly as well. So if you want to talk about something that you did or will do without planning, you can use hit and miss or hit or miss. One more time, they gave away free tickets. Okay, hit and miss. So without planning, so as a result, my friend got 5 tickets, but I only got 1. Okay, now do you have a better understanding? I hope so. Okay, let's move on. Rachel says, yeah, that's true, and she talks about herself. For me, I was kind of carefree about dating. Now, she's talking about dating, but what does carefree mean? She was carefree about dating. Carefree, let's divide that word into 2 words. It is 1 word, but care. If you care for something, you're very careful about something, you worry about it, right? You pay attention to it. But free means none. There is nothing of it. So carefree means you don't really care. Well, actually, you do care, but you don't worry about things. You really don't worry about the responsibilities of it. So when she says, for me, I was kind of carefree about dating, she did not worry about meeting someone or breaking up with someone. It was more casual for her, okay? It wasn't too serious. And she says, but I did think seriously about dating in the sense that I wasn't just going to date anybody. That's right. Although she was carefree, she was casual about meeting people, but she was serious about meeting certain people. She was careful, in other words. She wasn't going to date anybody. And she says, if I was going to date someone, it would have to be with the thought of, meaning I thought to myself, do I have a future with this person? Do I have a future with this person? Meaning, could I possibly get married to this person? Okay, moving on. So she says, there's that. So that's why I looked upon dating. That's the way I looked upon dating. I thought seriously about it before I jumped into a relationship. In this case, jump into something also means to do something without planning, okay? You jump into something, meaning you don't think much about it, you don't plan about it, you just do it right then and right there. So, Peter says, you just dated the special ones and it has worked out well, and I'm sure as a marriage senior. 선배 in this case, right? Since Peter is married, he say, as a marriage senior, you're going to love it. And of course, Rachel says, I am looking forward to it. It meaning marriage life, of course. So yeah, it is very important that you out there don't jump into a relationship. Don't just jump into it. Think about the many possibilities. Think about the good things and the bad things. Be careful before you jump into a relationship. All right, then here is actual talk one more time.
So Rachel, I hear you're getting married soon.
I am.
Amazing. Did you always plan to get married? I guess it's relatively early.
No, I never thought I was going to get married at this age. But I was also never the type to plan out my life, this time frame of when I'm going to meet my future husband and when we're going to get married, when I'm going to have kids. I just let nature take its course, and it worked out the way it did.
That's the best way, because, you might not have a husband to cooperate with that schedule.
Exactly.
So I think it's best just to see how it goes, right?
Did you have like a time frame? Did you know you were going to get married at this age, have kids at this age?
If I'm honest, then yes, I was a little girl when I was younger because I kind of planned what age I'd get married, what age I'd have a kid. I was 28 getting married, 29 to have a kid, and so before 30 I'd have like a family. And it actually worked out that way.
Congratulations!
But as I got older, I forgot about that and I just kind of dated my fair share of girls, I guess. Not too many, but but dating was really hit and miss.
Okay.
There's some good experiences, some terrible experiences.
Right.
Once you're married, it's kind of like a safe haven.
That's true. For me, even though I was kind of like carefree about dating, not in the sense that I dated like so many men, but,
everyone,
but carefree in the sense that I wasn't so serious about it, right? Like, I have to marry or date this guy, marry this guy. I was more like, again, nature take its course, let that happen. But I did think seriously about dating in the sense that I wasn't just going to date anybody.
No.
Like, if I was going to date someone, it would have to be with the thought of, do I have a future with this person?
Oh.
So that's the way I looked upon dating. So I didn't really date a lot of people because I guess I thought seriously about it before I jumped into this relationship.
You just dated the special ones, and it's worked out well. And I'm sure as a marriage senior, that you're going to love it.
I look forward to it.
I used to like good-looking guy when I was in my early 20s. But, I don't mean that good-looking is just appearance and being tall, but just also the face expressions and impressions, and also the way they talk and act. And I guess as I grow old, personality is more important because that can actually affect your relationship. I am looking for someone who can grow old with. And when I get married and have family, and I will try really hard to have a really good family and take care of them. Because I guess having a good family can boost your career and other parts of life. So I say having a good family can be number one priority. So I would do anything to keep my family happy.
I wonder how many of you actually agree with her story. I agree with her because when I was younger, of course, looks was a lot more important than personality. Now, she's told us what she looked for when she was in her 20s, of course, what she looked for in a guy when she was younger, what she looks for now, and what is her number one priority. She did mention that family means so much to her. So let's check out what she mentioned in today's actual story. She began talking about what she was like when she was a lot younger, right? In her 20s. She said, I used to, not anymore, but back then I used to like good-looking guys, handsome-looking guys. In my early 20s. So she's talking about her early 20s. So let's try practicing using that expression in some sentences. Used to do something. It means you no longer do it, but you used to. In the past, you did. For example, you can say, I used to like bad boys. I think in Korean you call it 나쁜 남자. I don't like bad boys. Anyhow, you can say, I used to like bad boys when I was in my 20s, okay? Say, for example, if you were 23, 23살 때, in that case, you would say, I used to like bad boys when I was 23. We're talking about your 20s. You would say, in my 20s. What about this one? I used to fall for girls that played hard to get in college. Here, instead of like, I've chosen the word fall for. Okay, fall for. you can fall head over heels. You could fall in love, right? So if you say fall for somebody, it means just really like somebody. I used to fall for girls that played hard to get in college. Play hard to get means 잡힐까 말까, 잡힐 듯 말 듯. You know that expression, right? So a lot of girls play hard to get. They make it difficult for men out there. So you can talk about when you were younger, you used to like girls or boys which were so and so. Another one, as I grew older though, right? She says, as I grew older, as I got older, personality became more important. Let's try it in a sentence. As I grew older, trust became more important. As we grow older, many different things become more important. As we get married, marriage life or family becomes more important, right? So try using as I grew older. And one final one. Now, what do you look for in a person right now? I'm looking for someone that I can grow old with. So if you're looking for a specific kind of person or a type of person, you can say, I'm looking for someone that I can enjoy activities with, go travel around the world with. But in this case, it means I can grow old with, meaning age with, spend the rest of my life with. All right? Okay, let's try out one more sentence using I would do anything. Now she said, I would do anything. I would give anything is a very similar expression to keep my family happy. I would do anything. Here, I would do anything to protect my family. So, if you are desperate about something, if you will do something no matter what, you can say, I would do anything to, and then verb. Talk about what you are willing to do no matter what. Okay, thanks to Ijin once again for a wonderful response, and that was our actual story for the day.
I used to like good-looking guy when I was in my early 20s. But, I don't mean that good-looking is just an appearance and being tall, but just, also the face expressions and impressions, and also the way they talk and act. And I guess as I grow old, personality is more important because that can actually affect your relationship. I am looking for someone who can grow old with. And when I get married and have family, and I will try really hard to have a really good family and take care of them, because I guess having a good family can boost your career and other parts of life. So I say having a good family can be number one priority. So I would do anything to keep my family happy.
This is something I just wanted to ask you about your personal thought. I've had people telling me it's better to date as many people as possible before you get married. Some people say, why make it all complicated? Date one or two people and go straight to marriage. I don't know what your idea is. But anyhow, I think the dating process is just, I guess, a way of practicing. It is experience, and we learn from every experience. Dating is also important in life, I think. And of course, marriage, having a happy marriage life could also do you good in your career. So everyone, I hope that you all have a very happy marriage life. Okay, that is all for today, everyone. Next time, I'll be joining you with our final topic related to this week. Now, we have taken you up to marriage, and next time we'll be talking about what happens after retirement. So please do join me for that. In the meantime, come to our homepage, find your way over to www.ebse.co.kr and check out our scripts and leave some comments while you're there. Okay, everyone, take care. I'll see you again soon. Bye for now.